Hey everybody, what's going on? Remi Sovran here. So today we're back with part 2 of our flat feet series here. In today's video I'm going to show you guys some stretches and some tissue work that you guys can kind of do to help restore your arch and help prevent any flat feet. So here we have basically our diagram, and before I kind of show you any of these stretches or tissue work, I want to talk about why it's important to kind of loosen up our muscles, specifically within the lower portion of our leg. So as we see here, we have an individual with a flat foot. And so what ends up happening is that when we have tight muscles, specifically within the gastrocnemius, the soleus, or the fibularis brevis, or tibialis anterior, we get issues occurring, and also in the plantar muscles, which are all the muscles located in our feet. And so when these muscles become tight, what ends up happening is we get movement restrictions up here. So movement restrictions, so we have less mobility, so we're less mobile, we can't move as well, and things like squatting or any sort of moving around, we're limited. Secondly, we can get fallen arches. And the reason why we get fallen arches, guys, is because what ends up happening is that when these muscles become really tight, is they're going to generate a force. And when they generate this force, it can contribute to a fallen arch. So we get this force built up over time to the gastrocnemius, or whatever it is, or the fibularis brevis, and it basically can be transmitted down into our foot. And when it gets transmitted down to our foot, it can cause our arch to collapse over time, especially if we're not wearing proper footwear or whatever it is. And the last thing we can get is compensation. So when we have tight muscles, we can get compensation occurring. So since these muscles become very tight, they can't do their function as they normally would. So other muscles or supporting muscles around there are basically going to compensate and help with the function of that other muscle that's not able to do it. And what ends up happening is this becomes problematic now because we're not getting the proper muscles doing their proper function, and other muscles are basically taking that role. And those muscles, since they're going to be working extra harder, they're going to become more tight, and therefore we're going to get more issues, specifically around our lower portion of our leg and our foot, and this is how we can kind of get fallen arches occurring. So guys, with all that being said, now I'm going to show you a couple stretches and also some tissue work that you guys can kind of do to prevent flat feet or to kind of restore your arches. Okay guys, so here I have my lacrosse ball, and all I'm going to do is place the lacrosse ball on the ground here, and I'm going to stand up and place my foot on top of the ball. So here I have my foot on top of the ball, and now all I'm going to do is going to roll back and forth. I'm going to roll side to side. I'm going to roll in a circle, inwards and also outwards. So guys, just kind of roll, you want to roll it on the ball just for about a minute or so, just to kind of loosen up the muscles on the bottom of your feet. So after you do this for about a minute, you can switch sides, hit the other foot now. Now guys, we know it's important to kind of loosen up the muscles on the bottom of our feet, because if they become real tight, we can get movement restrictions. We know with movement restrictions we get less mobility. So guys, next thing what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the foam roller and I'm going to place my calf on top of the foam roller. So now we're going to basically work on the muscles on the back of our leg here. So what we're going to do now is just going to roll back and forth on the foam roller. So if we want to hit basically the outer portion now of our calf here, we can just rotate our foot outwards. If we want to hit the inner portion, we can rotate inwards. Now guys, if this isn't enough pressure, just rolling it on the foam roller, you can also use a lacrosse ball, just kind of rolling back and forth or side to side on the back of your calf. So just placing it right on your calf and go side to side, just wherever it's kind of tight, just loosen things up. Next thing guys, we're going to work on the tibialis anterior, which is the front portion of our leg here. So on the foam roller guys, you're going to come at an angle and you're going to place your leg right onto the foam roller here. And now from an angle, you're just going to roll back and forth. So guys, same thing applies to your calf. If there isn't enough pressure being applied, you could use the lacrosse ball as well. Now guys, I'm going to show you 2 stretches that you guys can do to improve your flexibility and also kind of the length of your muscles. So, you're going to stand up. Place your toes here right onto the foam roller. So you're engaging in dorsiflexion. All you're going to do from here now is lean forward. Lean forward and you're going to push down on your heel, your front heel here. So you want to hold this stretch for about 30 to 60 seconds. So what we're doing is you feel the stretch right in the back of your calf here. Then remember, we're going to switch sides. Next stretch I want to show you guys is basically for the outer portion of our calf here, so right down here. So what you're going to do, foot on the foam roller, but you're basically going to place it on an angle. So as you see, I have basically my pinky toe on the foam roller, and I'm going to push into the foam roller. And you should feel the stretch right along here. It's kind of where the fibularis brevis is. Hold that for about 30 to 60 seconds, and then we can switch sides. So guys, those are just some stretches and some tissue work that you guys can kind of do at home to loosen up any tight muscles and also improve your mobility and help prevent flat feet from occurring. Now guys, seeing a massage therapist would kind of be the best thing for this, but however, we don't all have the resources and money to go see one frequently. So doing this little tissue work and stretches at home is one of the most beneficial things that you guys can kind of do. So spending about 10 minutes a day doing this, I'm telling you guys, if you do that, you'll see a lot of benefits, and also it'll help prevent any flat feet and also help you build up your arches. So now guys, I'm going to be doing another video where I'll be covering some exercises to build up your arches, to help strengthen those arches and kind of rebuild them. So if you want to see that video guys, be sure to subscribe to my channel as I will be releasing it soon. Okay guys, so that's it for today's video. All the best, and hopefully you guys can build up your flat feet.